As everybody here might or might not know, I am the teacher, the trainer, the coach of the beginners class.
Looks like it's going to be the school of
and
hard
apparently,
knocks for Jessie.
This is my star pupil.
The crowd is so loud, you can't even hear.
Apparently, this is my star pupil, Jessie James. Well, first I'd like to thank everybody for coming so you can see me give this kid a wrestling lesson.
Oh, Nick Dinsmore, you've given him a lesson. That's why he's here in the future.
I'll give you one chance to leave the ring now and spare yourself the embarrassment of getting taught a lesson by Mr. Wrestling Nick Dinsmore in front of all your fans.
Jesse's not going anywhere. I know him better than this.
That's the nicest thing I've seen Nick Dinsmore do in a long time.
He's calling himself Mr. Wrestling again and now offered Jessie an out.
Okay, kid, you made your own bed. It's a wrestling lesson.
This Jessie is all heart.
See if you two can understand here for a minute. Nick taught him everything he knows, but only about 1/10 of what Nick Dinsmore knows.
Absolutely. Jessie James' only advantage today is that he is a hometown hero. This crowd is behind him, but I don't know what that's going to mean for this 95-pound.
Well, there's lesson number 1 just got handed out. I got news for you. That ain't going to happen.
You got him a couple inches up. Dinsmore retaliates.
Big slam by Nick Dinsmore.
I love it when these cocky-ass students get put in their place.
Jessie James, that's got to hurt.
He come out here kissing babies, kissing ugly women, getting his crowd rooting for him, using my great uncle's name, Jessie James.
Mr. Wrestling is about to give him, unfortunately, a lesson. But Jessie has all the heart. I see this kid in training. He has all the heart, all the determination in the world. Snap bear takedown.
Well,
cocky pin.
The good thing about Jessie James is he's got heart. He's got determination. He's one of the top students. He works hard. He's got good-looking boots. The bad thing about him, he's got a pair of shorts that look like his grandma gave him. And it looks like he went and gave blood and forgot to say when.
Oh, yeah, well, Mr. Wrestling looks like he stepped in a bucket of Ecto-Cooler, King.
Jessie James could sue that body for non-support.
Listen to the crowd right now. Dinsmore doesn't know quite what to do. He didn't expect an ovation like this.
Nick Dinsmore's already slapped him right in his smart mouth. He's already slammed him after he tried to slam Nick. He proved he couldn't do it.
Jessie James going in for another headlock applied by Mr. Wrestling Nick Dinsmore.
Nick Dinsmore can put him on the mat, put a sandwich on his back, and starve him to death.
Kenny, I'd like to see him put you in that hold.
I'd like to see him starve you to death.
I managed Nick Dinsmore. I'm part of the reason he's the great name that he is in wrestling today. He was one of the original members of Bowling Services. Way back when.
I heard you also manage a French's Big Boy. Nick Dinsmore missed elbow.
I've got some connections with some precious big boy, but that's got nothing to do with this.
Where do you get this stuff, Poland? Jesse going. Big knee to the bread basket. Nick Dinsmore.
Oh, come on, Nick.
Boston Crab. Will we see it? Walter Jesse. He's got it in. Nick
Boston Crab. No.
It appears
Not gonna happen.
appears that Mr. Wrestling took this kid too lightly.
Jesse's got nothing to lose. He's all heart. He's got personified.
It would be impossible for Nick to take this kid too lightly. Look at him. What's he weigh? $1.25?
Well, then why doesn't he get back in the ring?
He's evaluating the situation. Don't you worry about Nick. He's got a 10 count. He's taking advantage of it.
You say he's playing mind games. I'm saying he's scared.
Look at this punk. His arms look like a mosquito bite bit him.
And what? You say potato,
Terrible.
I say potato, but they love Jessie James.
Did he just try to hot dog on Nick Dinsmore?
And I say tomato, and if Nick Dinsmore loses, he's going to be red in the face.
See those arms right there? If he flexed them and showed muscles, it would look like a mosquito bite on a strain of spaghetti.
Oh, come on! You're going to be out of here!
Not going to happen.
Wait a minute, he's on those trunks right now. That athletic swimwear. Oh, big boot.
Dinsmore showing him now what it's all about. He may be Mr. Wrestling, but they should call him Mr. Cheap Shot.
Last time I saw a head like Jessie James, it was on an iodine bottle.
Nick Dinsmore, Mr. Wrestling, laying it into Jessie James. And now taunting his family and friends in the audience. 1, 2.
Jesse's chest is going to be blistered black and blue tomorrow when he wakes up. You can bank on that one.
See, the difference between Jessie James and Nick Dinsmore, Jessie James went around all over Louisville, all over southern Indiana, all in the country hick towns. Come see me wrestle. Come see me have my first big match. Unlike Nick Dinsmore, who throws his name up on a marquee, and people come from hundreds of miles around to see him wrestle and pay good money to do so.
Everybody has to start somewhere, Mr. Bull.
I bet you Jessie James reached in his own pocket at whatever factory job he's got during the week and bought all these rednecks a ticket so they could come and see him wrestle.
They're here, and once they get here, they're going to come back to see this kind of action. This is the Future Talent Showcase, the first of 2009. Mr. Wrestling and Jessie James.
What'd you say this is
locking
called?
it down.
The Future Talent Showcase. When Nick Dinsmore gets done with him, it's going to be called the Lack of Talent Showcase. Didn't have the talent to get in the ring with Nick.
He's got him positioned strategically next to the ropes in case he needs extra effort, but Jessie has no control over getting to the ropes.
Jessie in extreme pain. And
It is! Look what he's doing!
Come on, Bill Clark, do your job.
Grabbing the rope.
Where?
I knew he was
I
going to
guess
do
you're going to
this.
say that's illegal.
Your Mr. Wrestling, who can out-wrestle this kid with his eyes closed, is cheating. Taking an easy way out, King.
I'm sure Nick's put a boot up your butt a time or two, too. So
Come on.
That's why you're rooting against Nick. You
I
want
have
to see him get in.
I have good news for you. You want a trip? Out of here.
Look at these. Look at this cast of retards over here. Looks like a making for a next Billy Bob Thornton movie.
Come on.
Dinsmore picking him up by the ears now. Sends him in for a hard buckle. Jessie moves out of the way. He just hit his shoulder on the post. Oh!
That might be at 1, 2.
Dinsmore.
He barely had enough.
Dinsmore's weight was too much. Brought Jessie's 150-pound frame down to the canvas.
Yeah, well, he 150, huh? About 125 if he weighs an ounce.
Are you saying he's lying?
I'm saying he's a liar if he says he weighs 150.
Oh, he is not an instrument. Back to the action. Nick Dinsmore is going to put him into the buckle.
Jessie's head just bouncing off that buckle.
Put it to him, Nick. Make
Wait
an example out of the punk.
Locking his neck there on the ropes, as you can see. Cutting off his breathing. The windpipes closing, swelling up.
I could assure you Nick is just playing with this clown right now.
Just look at those gigantic handprints on the body of young Jessie James. Nick Dinsmore is just chipping away at the youngster.
Nick Dinsmore kick to the gut. Might have broken one of those ribs.
He ought to reach in his pocket. I'm sure he's got one. Pull out what little cash he's got and beg Nick Dinsmore not to beat on him anymore.
Whoa!
Quit embarrassing me in front of all my friends.
Wait a minute. Nick Dinsmore just tossed him out of the ring.
Why not?
What an attitude. This
Get him out
guy
of the
used
way.
to be the top of our class, the best of us.
What do you mean used to be?
And
Guys,
now, look at this attitude.
Jessie could
Who's
have
wandering
broken
around
his
here that's
pelvis.
any better?
Jesse could be seriously hurt, and Nick Dinsmore, the man who trained him, turning a cheek to him, a blind eye.
All that goes out the door when you come in here in front of all these some hundreds of people and try and make an example out of the trainer. Do you really think that Nick would get much respect if he got beat by this punk?
Lower lumbar now being annihilated by Nick Dinsmore. And Jessie James, the two-gun kid. Oh!
What do you think of that?
Bang, bang, Jesse.
Right in front
Where's
of
your
his
girlfriend
family.
now, punk?
Right in front of his friend. Dinsmore's an animal.
He's getting his butt kicked. He's getting his butt kicked.
Wait a minute. Jesse still has some left. He kicked out.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And Jesse has got to find that way and find it soon.
Jessie James.
Wow, Nick. He's reversing
You'll
it.
never.
He's got an abdominal stretch.
Abdominal stretch.
Jesse James got it back.
That's an old school maneuver. I can assure you that Nick taught him.
Jesse James taking that hip lock takedown from Nick Dinsmore. Missing elbow.
Come on, Nick.
We're hurting himself now. He's taking his
on.
kid not serious enough. But Jesse's still in trouble. He's going to block it.
Let's do it for the old schoolers, Nick. Come on, baby.
Oh!
All right, Nick, get a timeout and get out of there.
Nick Dinsmore is rocking and reeling.
Look at him go. Here we go around the mulberry bush. Dinsmore is pooped.
Nick Dinsmore doesn't know where he is.
Come on, Bill Clark, you worthless referee. Get in there and do something.
Dinsmore's out on his feet. Jessie James opening up shot. Bang.
Jesse James, body
Oh,
slam!
he actually got a body slam off on Dinsmore. Listen to that cast of inbreds over there.
Wait a minute, wheelbarrow! Oh,
Eat your heart out, Bang. Look at
Dinsmore
this.
might actually.
no! Clint Bog is rolling in his grave. No!
Dinsmore might actually be in trouble if he don't regroup here soon.
He is Mr. Wrestling, and you can't forget that. Jesse James did have him reeling. Wait a minute, going for the same wheelbarrow maneuver. Nick Dinsmore.
There you go, back suplex.
Both men hurt. Nick must have gotten a piece of that on his cranium too. Big backdrop. That's going to be it. No!
How much heart, how much resiliency is in the 150-pound frame of youngster Jessie James?
You never believe, Mr. Bolin, but Jesse James is going to do his best, and if he's going to lose or he's going to win, he's going to go out fighting.
Yeah, earlier tonight, Jessie James introduced me to his girlfriend and his sister. There's one problem, there's only one girl standing there.
Wait a minute! Jesse James just kicked out!
Come on, Nick. Come on, beat this inbred up.
How did he do this? How did he kick out?
He was. This punk was probably conceived in the back seat of an Opel Cadet.
Look at this, Bill Clark.
What is Clark doing? No! No!
No! Pins and needles.
Clark put his hands on Dinsmore.
Dinsmore doesn't know what to do. Victory roll! One,
Two.
No!
Holy mackerel!
almost at him.
Nick's got to regroup.
Oh! Acid drop. Dinsmore's down. Jesse's getting up to his feet. Bill Clark is in a hot sweat.
Jesse James just took him 10 paces. Nick Dinsmore on the rope.
Hand was plainly on the ropes. You got to break it.
He is a ring general. He knows where he's at, even in these times. It's muscle reaction, Kenny.
And the Jester is going to the top.
What does he think?
Pure reflex. Now Jesse James.
This is his kid's first match. What's he thinking? What's he thinking?
Oh! Picture perfect moonsault. Nobody home.
He went for broke, and that's exactly what he got.
The Sunset Kid, Jesse James. Going for that
He
acai
was an
moonsault.
idiot for trying that maneuver in your first match.
If you've got the tools, Kenny, if you've got the arsenal, you better unload everything you've got against a guy like Mr. Wrestling, Nick Dinsmore.
Jessie sure has a lot of cousins in the crowd tonight.
Oh, Will, yes.
Bill Clark now at 5. Dinsmore's on his feet, and you hear Jessie's name being chanted all over the city. All over the globe, for that matter. Here comes Dins.
Picking it back up. Jessie around back.
He might have it. 1, 2, get
I
out.
don't believe it.
Stop.
Nick
I think
Dinsmore.
that was it. I think that was it.
Here's your winner, Nick Dinsmore.